Hi everyone, this is Miriam. Welcome to my Ghanaian channel. Alright, so this might be my last video of 2000. Okay, my last video of 2015. Wow, it has gone really fast. But anyway, guys, if you haven't watched my last video, I talked about my latest trip to Ghana, where I talked to you about the behind the scenes of some of the things that I did. And if you love Ghana, if you love a good talk and story time, you will definitely enjoy that video. So I will ask you to watch my latest video for my Ghana trip and what I did there. But now I told you that I was going to make a second video explaining telling you about some helpful tips that I could share with you that I've learned throughout my trip, that I thought, why not share some of the things that I know and that I have learned. My latest trip to Ghana was a bit more like independent. I didn't really have my parents with me for like the first 2 weeks. Even like after this, I was really just doing my own thing. And it's different being in Ghana with your family and being in Ghana by yourself, where you stay in a guest house by yourself, where you go around and meet people by yourself. And obviously I had people helping me out. I had a family friend who took the role of the driver for me, bringing me to different places where I had to shoot and all that. But obviously it was a bit more neat, like I was a bit more doing my own thing there. So just want to share some things with you that I've learned in terms of Wi-Fi. I have the Wi-Fi business was with me in terms of topping up the mobile phones and all that. So in terms of the electricity shortage that people talk about, you just sit back and enjoy this video. First thing that I could share with you is the top-up business in Ghana. I mean, prior to going this year, like I had a phone, but when I went to Ghana, I never thought, hey, when I go to Ghana I need to call so and so. I didn't really care about this. Everybody knew that I was going to Ghana to enjoy my holidays, so it wasn't a thing where I would care about calling people there. That's bad, isn't it? But I was young, I was like 18 and stuff. So even if I wanted to call someone, you see how my parents already got phones. So I thought, hey, they just could pass me the phones, and I didn't really care about the internet as much. But it was a problem though in like when I went in 2010 and 2012, because I would use my dad's phone that he uses abroad. I would use it to basically go to Twitter, on Facebook, and when we got back, my dad would have so many charges. So I just knew that something had to be done, man. I had to learn how to deal with top up and using the internet in Ghana. So when I went to Ghana this year, obviously I knew that I'd have to use a phone because of the different people that would call and all that. So it was, and I learned that it's actually very easy. For those who have never really used, maybe I'm the only one, maybe it's a shame that I'm here telling you that I never really used my phone in Ghana prior to this year, but it's the truth. And for those who have never really used their phone out there, maybe it's your first time going to Ghana, it's very easy to top up in terms of credit. Topping up for phone credit and internet is actually very easy. I was actually feeling it. Like I would just buy some MTN card or some Vodafone card. MTN and Vodafone are, I think, the most like renowned networks in Ghana. There's Tigo as well, but MTN and Vodafone, like most people have them. Once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. Like in fact, the instruction that even in the thing that they give you for topping up. But there was one problem though, and that's when my advice would come in. In terms of, because from the UK you're so used to having the internet, is not a big deal. In fact, I have unlimited text, unlimited internet when I pay every month. So it's not a big deal in the UK, but in Ghana it's different. You have to know how to manage your money. And in terms of phone credit, I have to admit that I didn't really do well. Like, I didn't really do well in terms of managing my credit money, because just my mentality, like I thought, hey, internet is easy. But in Ghana it's not the same as wherever you live. If there's one thing I learned, is how to manage your credit, because at times I'll be topping up 20 Ghana cedis, which is a lot of money in Ghana. But in Ghana, in terms of 20 Ghana cedis is a lot of money. So one day I'll just be topping up 20 Ghana cedis for my phone, and then you just be over, like my internet would just cut. I wouldn't be able to make calls and whatever after a week or And that got me so upset. So one thing that I could tell you is just learn how to manage. It's not because you top up that you have to use all of your phone credit or all of your phone. It depends on, you know, it's your life, so I don't know what you do. Like, you have a different life than I have, so maybe you can put money and use the money use your phone credit the way you want it to. But just know that the system there is very different. Like, if you're not careful, your money could go really fast. You know, don't make calls that you don't really need, and don't you surf the internet for no reason. You know, just kind of learn how to save a little bit, especially if you're going to stay there for a long time. And in terms of, I had some network problems as well. And in terms of, I'm not pointing at anything, but like the network MTN at times, it just shut down, and that's why you find so many people in Ghana with two different networks, like Vodafone and MTN or another network as well. A lot of Ghanaians have different phones, two phones, and a lot of Ghanaians have different numbers from having different networks, and that's because in case one network decides to just play and just shut down for a day, at least they've got a backup of another network. That's why you see so many people with different phones with different phone numbers. So, but if you're not going to stay in Ghana for too long, I won't advise you to get two different numbers. When my network just didn't really work, I had to call them, and they're like,
oh, that's the problem that everybody's experiencing.
And after like few hours it kind of worked. So, but you just get used to it. So yeah, just learn how to manage your money. The second thing I will share with you, as you know, in Ghana I was there to film a documentary that I was working on. Yeah, so I was doing a documentary in Ghana, so I was kind of filming, and I was in Accra for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks I went to join my family in the Dumsor region. So I needed the internet, I really wanted the internet on my laptop, because obviously I had the internet on my iPhone, but it's just also good to surf using a laptop. And on my first week in Accra, my parents helped me obviously buying a USB modem. I think it was in Osu, I'm not sure, opposite the KFC in Accra. And I was in the Vodafone office thing, I bought a USB modem, and it turned out that it wasn't really a good idea when I think back. And I'm here to share my knowledge for you guys not to do maybe what I did. I don't think it was a great idea, because at first it did work, but it was very slow. It was extremely slow, and after that it just stopped working. And I thought that was because I stayed in Accra, so obviously it's very unstable in terms of the electricity shortage that is going on. Light can just go off. So I thought the reason why my USB internet just played is because of the electricity shortage. But I stayed in a guest house, so normally in a guest house they had a generator, so normally it was meant to work. So I just didn't really understand. So when I went to the Dumsor region where my family are, I used I topped up again, and I used the same USB modem. It worked. It really worked. It was kind of fast, and I was enjoying it more. But then it stopped working. And I don't know if that's me. Maybe it's because it expired. Yeah, I think there was an expiration date to the USB modem that I had. But then I topped up. I put money there. So how was it? How did it? So maybe it's a thing where I just didn't get it. But I think it was a waste of time. That's what I want to tell you. What I should have done is just use the internet on my phone and do all the research on my phone while I was in Ghana, and literally just use my laptop for writing and Microsoft Word. Or maybe, as I said, use my credit money from my phone to for my laptop. Because to be honest, buying the USB modem and this modem business while I was only going to stay a month wasn't really a good idea. So if you're going to Ghana, especially if you're not going to stay too long, I wouldn't really advise you to do the whole modem and the whole, because it's just a lot of money. And if you don't have family and if you don't have people around you that could help you with it, it could be a bit difficult. And if you really need a modem, then I just really do a lot of research on it, so that at least you know that they're not really playing with you in terms of just telling you to buy things that are not really useful. How was the Dumsor situation? For those who don't know, the Dumsor is basically in Tree language, is a Ghanaian language. Dum means off, so means on. So it's basically a play of words to describe the electricity shortage in Ghana. I heard a lot about it before going to Ghana. Even there was a protest, peaceful protest, created by one of Ghana's one of Ghana's famous actresses, Yvonne Nelson. So there was a protest in Accra talking about how Dumsor must stop, the electricity shortage must stop, and apparently it was successful. But obviously when I went, there was still an electricity shortage in Ghana. But the mindset that I had before leaving it was that just the way the media made it seem, as soon as if it was, or even people made it seem, or the people that I follow on networking sites, it made me feel like it's going on everywhere in Ghana. But actually, the place that the electricity shortage is going on most, would say, is the capital, Accra, and apparently another city called Kumasi. It's not in the whole of Ghana that is going on. In fact, in my region where my family are, it just was not really happening as much. But to be honest, if something like this even happened in the capital, it's still as bad, because the capital is where the whole buzzing and everything, all businesses are. So yeah, it was actually real when I went but because I stayed in a guest house, so there was the generator and all that. But even at times they kind of turned off the generator to save money. So I was left sometimes without electricity for the sake of them people saving money. But you know, sometimes I would walk in Accra at night and it just be all dark with candles, and it's a real problem because it shuts businesses, and a lot of people, you know, are literally make money off their you know, selling things and markets and stuff like that. So if there's electricity shortage, sometimes they may be, you know, shutting off their markets earlier or stuff like that. It's a little bit of problem. And when I realized it was actually huge was when, you know, one of my nephews came back from school. So they had the cable, and you know, they had CNN and cartoons and, you know, all them American programs. All excited, like, oh, he was going to watch a cartoon, taking off his tie. And all of a sudden the electricity came off, and that's when I realized that, wow, that's a huge problem, because he was excited, he was going to watch his cartoons, and then that's it. But I think the payment method is different. I don't think people have, for example, if you have a cable in Ghana with American channels and all that, obviously you're not able to watch TV when you have electricity shortage. So I don't think they're meant to pay for the times that there are electricity shortage, but only when it is, like, only when they're able to watch TV. So I think even the system has adjusted to that. But if you're staying in a hotel that have generators, I don't think you would kind of, it might not affect you as much. The next thing that someone asked me is about if you guys know, there was a flood in Ghana. How is Ghana reacting after all this flooding situation? I didn't really hear remarks referring to the floods that, you know, as much. But it was true that it was a huge breaking news and a huge problem. So I think people have been a bit more careful. And when it was I think it rained only once or twice. WhatsApp is the big thing in Ghana. I mean, young people, even my cousin, this guy, he knows about WhatsApp, he knows about Facebook. He's my age, he's 20, well, he's 20, I'm 21, but like, this guy is Ghanaians are up with what's going on. Like, I heard someone not long ago I heard one of my I heard one of my cousins saying the BAE word. I hate it, and I would scold him because I don't like when people talk like that. So Ghanaians are actually up with like them memes and them slang words that are happening. I'm like, what? And WhatsApp is the big thing where like everybody uses WhatsApp. No, like literally, it's like people have forgotten how to text. In Accra, what's funny is that I didn't really experience that much traffic. You know, I had so many things to do. So in the morning I had to go to the Joy News internship. I had to sometimes go and interview people early, so I literally leave my house sometimes at 6 a.m, 7 a.m. the struggle. But because of it, I think I didn't experience that much traffic, because my driver, my family friend knew how to avoid it. So the earlier you leave your house, the better for you, really. That's basically it. You just have to plan and just be smart, really. You know, just chill and enjoy yourself. I don't think I have more to add. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a blessed new year. I wish you health, happiness, joy, everything that you wish for in your life. Yes, bye guys.